Hi there, it's Jen from modernmedicinelady.com and the Empathic Woman System. And the word of the day is tipping point. So tomorrow we've got a full moon in Sagittarius, as well as there's the election going on in the UK, and we've got the hearings with Comey here in the United States. And so right now we really are at this kind of energetic, political, social, emotional tipping point. And if your life is like mine, then you probably have a couple projects or things going on where maybe you've been working at it for a while and you're just at the point of hitting critical mass or hitting your tipping point. And one of the things that I've noticed as getting right to that moment of ripeness, right to that moment where it's like ready to just like bloom or burst, that there can be this feeling of almost like wanting to give up right before that happens because it takes so much energy and effort. And I was thinking about, for me, one of the things that I always feel like as I'm working on some kind of a project is that there's a certain way that it feels like I'm pushing a snowball up a hill. And the thing about that is the further up the hill I go, the bigger and heavier the snowball gets. The more details that get attached to it, the more stuff that's going on with it. And so right before I hit the tipping point is when it's the hardest. It's when it's the heaviest. It's when it's the biggest burden. And also it's the point at which I'm most likely to have the most doubt and the most sense of frustration and worry that all of my effort is for nothing. And I've noticed this has happened a number of times, and that one of the most important things I can do is just acknowledge the fear, acknowledge the frustration, acknowledge the depletion, and just kind of take a breather for a minute or two so that, or more than a minute or two, so that I can allow myself to get to the tipping point when it's time and allow momentum to carry things further once we've gone over it. But I think that this point right before hitting the tipping point is the most vulnerable moment in the process, and that it is much, much easier to just want to walk away from all of it and give up before things happen than it is once stuff starts to really get into motion. And I heard the saying a long time ago, don't give up before the miracle happens. And that's one of the principles that I live my life by, is don't give up before the miracle happens. But the other thing that I've learned is how incredibly important it is to take breaks and pause without giving up. That there's a big difference between putting a placeholder in it or asking somebody to take over and just hold something in place, or, to just delegate some responsibility and let somebody else take over some of the menial tasks that anybody could do for you, and just allow yourself to have a little bit of distance from whatever it is that you're hoping will come to fruition. So like, instead of just continuing to push and push and push when you're 9/10 of the way there, sometimes the best thing I think I can personally do is pause and step away and just watch the whole thing from a bit of a distance, and then go distract myself, like go to a movie or go out to dinner with a good friend or call a dear friend that I haven't spoken to a while and just have a conversation and see how they're doing and what they're up to, or any other number of things like a creative project or some kind of cooking project or anything that brings me delight and joy but has absolutely nothing to do with what it is that I'm waiting to hit the tipping point around. And what I've noticed is when I step away and I give myself a little bit of a break, I can basically kind of relax and recharge and regroup and regain some energy and momentum to keep moving forward without having to feel myself straining to get there. Because yesterday's word of the day was all about the difference between choosing to strain and choosing to allow, and how much easier life is when we live from a place of allowing and surrender as opposed to a place from willfulness and straining. So my question to you right now is there anything in your life right now where you're about to hit the tipping point, and how are you doing with it? Are you hitting your wall? Are you feeling frustrated? Are you feeling like, oh my God, when is this going to happen? Is it ever going to happen? Am I ever going to get there? And if that is the case, can you take a break? Can you hand over some tasks to somebody else? Can you put, sort of put a pin in it and just let it stay for a second or two? and do something fun for you, as well as can you take a moment and think about where you were, say, a year ago in regards to this project or plan or idea or desire or hope or whatever it is, and where you are now, and see, even though it may not feel like you're exactly where you wanted to be, what kind of progress you actually have made with persistent and consistent action over the last year or 2 years or 3 years. So I'd love to hear what you have to say about all of this. Please leave a comment below. And until next word of the day, I'm wishing you peace, I am wishing you ease, and I am wishing you persistence with your tipping point. So, in the meantime, please go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Jennifer Moore, Modern Medicine Lady, so that you can be one of the first people to know about these videos when they come out. And also, I will be eternally grateful for your help to get this video out into the world. So, please like it, please share it, and please pass it along to other people who would find it useful. Thank you so much, and until tomorrow, when who knows what's going to happen, but we certainly seem to be hitting the tipping point. Peace.